I'm 42 years old and my heart is failing, not from some genetic lottery or freak accident, from stress, from hustle, from believing that sleep was for the weak and boundaries were for people who didn't want it bad enough. I'm on a transplant list now. My ejection fraction, that's how much blood my heart can pump with each beat, is at 25%. A healthy heart is around 55 to 70%. Mine's been so overworked for so long that the muscle is scarred, stretched, and dying. I take 11 medications a day. I can't climb stairs without stopping. I had to quit my job, the job I destroyed my body for. Let me take you back. In my 20s and 30s, I was unstoppable. At least that's what I told myself. I was building a career in tech, then consulting, bouncing between startups and contract work. 80-hour weeks felt normal. I wore my exhaustion like a badge, slept 4, maybe 5 hours a night. Sometimes I'd work straight through until 3 a.m., then be back online at 7. I lived on coffee and adrenaline. Breakfast was whatever I could grab. Usually a breakfast sandwich from a drive-thru, washed down with the largest cold brew they sold. Lunch was eaten at my desk, if I ate at all. Dinner was takeout or microwaved leftovers at 10 p.m. I told myself I'd eat better when things slowed down. Things never slowed down. I didn't exercise. Who had time? I sat for 12, 14 hours a day. My back hurt. My neck was always tight. I'd get tension headaches that lasted for days. I just took ibuprofen and kept going. My resting heart rate in my mid-30s was around 95 beats per minute. Normal is 60 to 100, but the lower end is healthier. Mine was constantly elevated. My blood pressure at a work health screening came back at 145/95. The nurse told me that was stage 2 hypertension. She said I should see a doctor. I nodded, took the paper, and never followed up. I didn't think I had time to be sick. I had chest tightness sometimes, a squeezing feeling that would come and go. I'd feel it during big presentations, during client calls, during product launches. I thought it was anxiety. I thought it was normal. I was under a lot of pressure. Of course, my chest felt tight. My friends would ask me to hang out, go for a hike, grab dinner. I'd cancel last minute or just say I was slammed. I stopped seeing people. My relationship with my girlfriend fell apart because I was never present, even when I was home. She told me I was choosing work over everything. I told her she didn't understand what it took to build something. We broke up. I worked more to avoid feeling it. I didn't go to the doctor for 6 years straight, not once. I didn't have a primary care physician. I thought if something was really wrong, I'd know. I thought my body would tell me. It was telling me. I wasn't listening. The wake-up call came on a Tuesday. I was in a meeting, pitching a new client. Mid-sentence, I felt this crushing weight on my chest. Not tightness this time. Pain. Real, searing pain that radiated down my left arm and into my jaw. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was having a panic attack. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, and sat on the floor, trying to calm down. 20 minutes later, I drove myself to an urgent care. They took one look at my EKG and called an ambulance. I had a heart attack at 39 years old. At the hospital, they did an angiogram. 2 of my coronary arteries were significantly blocked. They put in stents. The cardiologist sat me down afterward and told me my heart had been under chronic stress for years. My blood pressure had been dangerously high, likely for a long time, and it had damaged my heart muscle. He said the attack was a warning. He said if I didn't make major changes, I wouldn't make it to 50. I was terrified. For about 2 months, then I slipped back. I told myself I'd cut back, but I didn't. I took the medications they prescribed, beta blockers, blood thinners, statins, but I didn't change my life. I was back to work within 3 weeks. I convinced myself the stents fixed it. I thought I could manage the rest with pills, but chronic stress doesn't work like that. You can't medicate your way out of a lifestyle that's killing you. Over the next 2 years, my heart continued to weaken. I developed something called cardiomyopathy. Basically, my heart muscle became enlarged and stiff from years of overwork and high blood pressure. My body was constantly flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. My nervous system never got a chance to rest. My heart was beating too fast, too hard for too long, and it just wore out. I started retaining fluid. My ankles would swell by the end of the day. I'd wake up short of breath. I couldn't lie flat anymore without feeling like I was drowning. That's called orthopnea, when fluid backs up into your lungs because your heart can't pump efficiently. By 41, I was in heart failure. Not a heart attack this time. Failure. My heart couldn't keep up with my body's needs anymore. I was hospitalized 3 times that year. They put me on diuretics to get rid of the fluid. They adjusted my medications over and over. They told me I needed to rest, to eliminate stress, to stop working the way I had been. I finally listened, but by then, the damage was done. Here's what I wish I'd known in my 20s and 30s. Stress kills, not in some abstract, someday way. It kills your heart, specifically. Chronic stress keeps your blood pressure high, which damages the walls of your arteries and makes your heart work harder than it should. Over years, that leads to hypertrophy. Your heart muscle thickens and stiffens trying to keep up. Eventually, it fails. You can't feel high blood pressure. That's why they call it the silent killer. I had no idea mine was dangerous until it was measured. If I'd checked it regularly, and I mean regularly, like weekly at home with a cuff from the pharmacy, I could have caught it. I could have made changes or started medication before my heart started to scar. Sleep is not optional. Your body repairs itself during sleep. Your blood pressure drops. Your heart rate slows. It's the only time your cardiovascular system gets a break. I was running on 4 to 5 hours a night for over a decade. That alone probably took years off my life. Boundaries aren't weakness, they're survival. I thought saying no meant I wasn't committed. I thought working through weekends and skipping vacations made me valuable. What it actually did was flood my body with stress hormones non-stop until my organs started breaking down. The chest tightness, the elevated heart rate, the headaches, the fatigue, those were symptoms. I wrote them off as the cost of ambition. They were my body begging me to stop. Now I live a completely different life, not by choice. I can't work anymore. I'm on permanent disability. I take a fistful of pills every morning and every night. Beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, diuretics, anticoagulants, statins. I have a defibrillator implanted in my chest in case my heart rhythm goes haywire. I see my cardiologist every month. I'm on a transplant list, and I might wait years, or I might not get one at all. I can't do the things I used to do. I get winded walking to the mailbox. I can't lift anything heavy. I have to monitor my fluid intake because my kidneys are starting to struggle from poor circulation. I nap every afternoon because my body just can't sustain energy anymore. I'm 42 and I feel 80. My family takes care of me now. My mom helps me with groceries. My sister drives me to appointments. The independence I was so proud of, gone. And it's humiliating. Not because they're not kind. They are. But because I did this. I chose work over sleep, over food, over rest, over connection, over my own survival. The career I built, it didn't matter. The company I helped grow got acquired. My role was eliminated. All those hours, all that sacrifice, it evaporated. But my heart, that damage is permanent. If you're reading this and you're grinding, hustling, wearing your exhaustion like armor, stop. Right now. Check your blood pressure. If you don't have a monitor, buy one. They're $30. Check it tonight. Check it again in 3 days. If it's above 130/80, see a doctor. Don't wait. Get blood work done. Ask for a lipid panel, a metabolic panel, and a high-sensitivity C-reactive protein test. That last one measures inflammation in your body, which is a predictor of heart disease. Know your numbers. Sleep 7 to 8 hours. Not sometimes. Every night. Your heart needs it. If you can't fall asleep, if you can't stay asleep, that's a medical issue. Talk to a doctor. Insomnia isn't a personality trait. It's a health risk. Set boundaries at work. I know that's hard. I know it feels impossible, but working yourself into heart failure is harder. Leave at a reasonable time. Don't check email after 8 p.m. Take your vacation days, all of them. Move your body. You don't have to run marathons. Walk for 20 minutes a day. That's it. Just move. Sitting all day is terrible for your heart and your circulation. If you feel chest pain, shortness of breath, or unusual fatigue, go to a doctor immediately. Don't convince yourself it's stress or anxiety or nothing. It might be nothing, but it might be everything. I don't share this for sympathy. I share it because I see younger versions of myself everywhere. In coffee shops at midnight with their laptops open. On LinkedIn bragging about their grind. In startup culture that glorifies burnout. You can't hustle your way out of biology. Your body will keep score, and eventually it will collect. I'm still here. But the version of me who could have run, who could have built a family, who didn't need a machine in his chest to keep his heart beating, he's gone. I killed him with my choices. Don't make mine.